This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. We are going to talk about something today that, for many of us, it's near and dear to our heart. Actually, can affect your heart. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Talking about sugar. And it's in everything. And is it that bad or that good for us? And then there's also sugar substitutes. We love the sweet part of life, but
Yeah, of course.
should we or
I
should
make
we
a
not?
living off of it. So yeah.
Well, yes, let's go there right now. She is an integrative nutrition coach, but she's also a pastry chef. So it's not like, I believe, not like she's going to come on here and say, don't ever have a pastry ever again. But
No.
there's a place for everything. Going to
Yes.
learn a lot today. Katie Patterson is here. How are you doing today?
Hi, Steve. I'm good. How are you?
Feeling guilty? I had ice cream over the weekend.
No guilt. No guilt.
I don't do it a lot. Maybe once every 4 or 5 months, I'll have something. And
I did too. I had ice cream.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing wrong with it.
All
Come
right.
on.
Feel better about that.
It was National Ice Cream Day yesterday. You had to have ice cream.
I didn't even know that, although I just saw that. And they say the time that people have ice cream is typically on Saturday at 5:42 p.m.
Exactly 5:42.
And I had it on Saturday. It was later. It was probably like
Yeah.
9:42. But
That's kind of early, but
yeah, isn't it, right?
a little bit.
I don't
That's
know.
all right.
But then again, I
Replace
guess
dinner.
if you're hanging out, walking with a family or something, and let's go to the ice cream shop for
Well, yeah.
after dinner. So maybe
I
that's
was at
it.
the boardwalk last night at about 5 o'clock, and there was tons of people in line at Coors or all the other ice cream places
Wow.
by Jenkinson. So
Hmm.
yeah, I get that.
So sugar isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I guess a lot of it, or on a regular basis, not a good thing for you. And
No,
sodas, a lot of
It's-
people love soda.
it's everywhere. The thing with sugar is that it's hidden. Even if you read ingredients and you look just specifically for the word sugar, you're not going to see it. But there are
Mm.
so many different ways that they hide sugar. It's high fructose corn syrup. It's all of the different these different ways that they hide sugar in foods for you. And that is what sugar will make you gain weight. Sugar will keep you unhealthy. It'll cause diabetes. It'll cause fatty liver issues. It's major inflammation. Sugar is a really big thing that it's one of the first things I try to get clients to pinpoint in their diet and try to
Mm.
eliminate it as much as possible. Not so much eliminate, cut down on it because it will make a difference. Sugar's everywhere.
What was that story that came out regarding Coca-Cola or something like that?
Yeah, supposedly there have been posts put out there that Coca-Cola is going to start using sugar cane in regular Coca-Cola as opposed to high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is a huge thing right now not right now, but it's getting a lot of media attention because our new what is he? The head of the
Administration or
health
something?
head of the health department.
Okay.
Is really touting the facts that it is bad for you, which he is right in that. High fructose corn syrup, it's made from corn. It's a starch as opposed to sugar. It will cause inflammation. It will help lead to obesity and diabetes because your body processes it differently than it processes regular sugar. It causes insulin spikes. Insulin spikes are what will lead to diabetes. It's just your body doesn't process it the same way that it processes regular sugar. Plus, when they grow corn, they use genetically modified organisms, the GMOs. It's not as healthy for you. There's a whole bunch of reasons not to want to have it. So now it's come out that they're going to start using sugarcane. That's what other countries use. You can get Mexican Coke. If you're closer to the border, like in Texas and California, they charge you 3 times as much for it because it's healthier. And it kind of is a little bit, but it's still sugar regardless.
Mm.
But so they're coming out now saying that that's what they're going to do. It's been said. Some high profile people have come out and said this. And then Coca-Cola actually isn't quite confirming it. They're saying that there are new products coming, but they haven't quite confirmed it yet. Um, and then Coca-Cola went on to post something in a magazine article touting the benefits of high fructose corn syrup, debunking some of the myths that say that it is not as healthy for you, where it's scientifically proven that it's not as good for you. It,
Hmm.
it's really all just gaslighting. None of it is good for you. None of it is healthy. The soda companies make millions and millions of dollars off of us, and none of it's good for you. It's just a matter of what's in our faces and what's out there.
Can we actually say, let's look at high fructose corn syrup? Obviously, we've been seeing it since we were kids on
Yeah.
labels. Many of us have picked up on what it really is, but
Yeah.
what is it really?
It's a syrup that's derived from corn. It's a starch and it is sweet. When they process it, it's processed with enzymes, and it's really from the processing of this corn. They break it down, they add enzymes to it, and it becomes a sweetener. And it's a lot less expensive for these food companies to use than regular sugar cane. Back in the 50s, 60s,
Oh.
70s, they started using it partly because during the Cuban Missile Crisis, we weren't importing as much sugar from areas like Cuba, where a lot of the sugar cane is grown and where we get a lot of our supplies from. So it became
Hmm.
essential for these food companies to start using it. And then they've realized it's a lot less expensive for them as an ingredient to put into our foods. They make more money. We consume it. It's a little bit more addictive. So
Okay.
we keep going back for it.
Now
So the
I
bottom,
see this
it
differently
all,
now.
yeah, it
I
all
got it
comes
now.
down to the bottom line for these food companies. Basically, they make more money off of us.
I
And it's not,
see.
they don't care if it's healthy.
I didn't know it was really about money. I thought
Yeah,
it was to hide the fact that they're putting sugar in. So instead of calling it sugar,
no.
let's call it this other. I didn't know it was a money saver.
Yeah.
So
I
whoa
think
on that.
I oops, sorry.
Come back.
I think we are, oh, yeah, sorry about that. I think we are all a lot more aware of the fact that it is a sugar. Like that's, nobody's hiding that fact anymore. What it is they don't tell you that it's really just a means for them to make more money. It's the same as the artificial, the colors that they use in okay, Kraft mac and cheese. All right, let's not even say Kraft mac and cheese.
Mhm.
The It's not yellow from the cheese, it's yellow from the food dyes that they use. The food dyes are toxic.
Yep.
But when they use these dyes, it's a lot cheaper than using, say, paprika or something else that's going to give it that golden color that we all love. Um,
Mm.
there's movements now to try to contact some of these big companies that make these products that are so in our faces, that are so easily accessible, and it's what our kids grow up loving. It's what we love, but they put these products in, or these chemicals in the foods, because it's a lot less expensive. They can keep the prices low for the consumer, but these companies make more money because it costs them less to manufacture it.
Mm.
Um,
So
you know,
let's look at it this way. Okay, so on one hand, high fructose corn syrup. Then some companies in the last number of years to look more holistic and healthy will say
yeah,
things like not just sugar, pure cane sugar.
yeah.
So, all right, which is the lesser of the two evils if there is one?
None of it is good for your body to
Uh,
have in high quantities. Period. None of it is.
mm,
You want to eat as whole food of a diet as possible. You want to try to consume food the way Mother Nature has grown it, has intended for you to be eating it, for the way it comes out of the earth. That is really the best way to eat. So if you want to pick the lesser of two evils, choose the sugar cane. Go
okay.
for the real food. Just like with everything, with absolutely everything. Um, the problem with all of that is it's not as easily accessible for everyone.
Hmm.
It's a lot more expensive to eat whole foods and to eat real foods. And that's the hard thing. That's where this whole diet culture in the United States, especially, is, because it's a lot cheaper to eat unhealthy. It's a lot cheaper to go to McDonald's and eat off. Well, I don't even know if they have a dollar menu anymore, but to go, I don't think they do.
I'm proud to say I'm not sure either.
I don't know. I don't know, but I know it's a lot cheaper to do that than to go shop in the organic section at the grocery store.
Sure.
You know? And so people keep going back to that. And these food companies that make these foods know that.
Can I hit that up real quick about the organic thing? So,
Yeah.
been buying organic bananas,
Okay.
and I just made a smoothie this morning with bananas I bought weeks ago, organic,
Okay.
and they were still okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how
Yeah.
longer they last.
They do.
And when you think of it in terms of financial, it makes more sense because what am I going to, in a week, I'm throwing bananas out. I didn't get to them.
It does.
Game changer. It really was.
It
And it's
does.
not the first time.
It is more money at the register. You're putting out a little bit more, but
Yeah.
if it's lasting longer, it's better for you.
Yep.
There are some foods that you at first people say, well, bananas, avocados, anything with a peel, it's not as necessary to get organic because you're
Yes.
taking off where a lot of those
Pesticides
pesticides
can
and
get in.
chemicals will get in.
Yep.
But like bananas and things like that, the organic bananas in the United States come from the United States more so. When we get the other bananas that we get, they come from South America, so they're older.
Yep.
By the time we get them, they're not going to last as long.
Yep.
And like you say, they're grown with the pesticides and all of that. So it really does end up saving you money in the long run.
Agreed.
Even if you look at it, it's saving you money at what you're paying in doctor's bills later on by not consuming the pesticides and the chemicals that they put on these foods and the genetically, to make these bananas, tomatoes, strawberries, to make them 5 times as big when they genetically modify all this stuff. That's not the way it was intended to be eaten.
That just creeps me
So,
out. The GMO
yeah,
thing there, it's just scientists in a laboratory. And what are we getting back to again? Money. It goes back to the same exact thing. Katie, what do you say to people? If somebody says, but Katie, sugar's natural. How bad can that be for you? Sorry, I talk in that voice, but that's my
no, it's
outside voice.
okay.
How do you address that? When
It's more
somebody
funny to watch your face as you're doing that voice than it is to hear it. um, yes, sugar is natural, and in small amounts, it's not detrimental to you. Just like everything, and if you can eat it in moderation, if you can limit it, then it's not going to be as bad for you as if you say drink 5 Coca-Colas in a day. Like if you look at the amount of sugar, and I don't remember the data as far as how many teaspoons of sugar are in a can of Coke. I think it's something like 15 teaspoons of sugar. Don't quote me on that. But if you look at that and you think about putting 15 teaspoons of sugar into one drink, and then you go get a Slurpee at 7-Eleven, or you go get some like fruit juice that you think is healthy for you, but with all these sugars, it adds up and it puts such a strain on your body to digest it. And that's when your body
Mm,
ends up going into a carb overload and you become insulin resistant. You don't know how to process these foods right. When you're insulin resistant, that's when your sugar spikes and it could lead to diabetes. It leads to obesity because your body doesn't process foods properly.
mm.
So no, in small amounts, sugar is not the end of the world. If it was, I wouldn't have my other career. I wouldn't be able to be a pastry chef because
Sure.
that evolves around sugar as one of the main ingredients in it. So yes, people wouldn't be able to eat it. It's just a matter of trying to figure out ways to balance and to find the moderation and adding other healthier foods into your diet if you're going to consume foods with sugar. It-
I I want to ask this because it's been on my radar for the last couple of years, but I've heard many times that sugar is the number one cause of inflammation in our body.
yes.
Can we define what this thing called inflammation is?
Inflammation is when your body is it's like you're attacking it. Your body's attacking itself in some way or another. Your body is not functioning properly. There's some source of inflammation within your body that can come from, like, look, a bruise is inflammation. Headache is usually caused by inflammation. It's stressors on your body
Mm,
that there's really no other way for your body to process it other than trying to combat it. And by trying to combat it, what happens is inflammation happens. And it could cause problems with your joints. It could be when you wake up in the morning, you haven't slept properly, you're overly stressed, you wake up, you feel like you can't stand getting out of bed because your joints hurt, you can't walk. It's when, like, sometimes the end of the day your hands start to get really tight or something like that. You might not even realize you're in inflammation either. Like, you could go into fight or flight when you get stressed out or overly excited or anxious. All of that wreaks havoc on your digestive system and on your central nervous system. And inflammation is a way for your body to protect itself from something. And there are so many different causes and so many reasons, and there are many, many things that you can do to help limit it or to help get rid of it. A lot of that is eliminating sugar, adding more water into your diet, exercising a little bit more. But inflammation it's an epidemic, pandemic, whatever, not whatever. It happens way too often.
I'd say epidemic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's because of our lifestyle and what we eat. And thank you for explaining that, in that the body is trying to help itself, protect itself
Yes.
from this intruder.
It's
Maybe it's sugar.
Yeah, some kind of an outside source that your body recognizes that there's a threat, but sometimes it doesn't really know what to do other than protecting itself.
Would you say that we both had ice cream coincidentally over the weekend? Yeah, all right, nothing wrong with that. Your body gets that sugar and says, "Whoa, I got a lot I got to deal with right now. Let me process it for Steve and Katie." Okay, it's doing its job. Your body's doing its job.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say the next day you have 3 cans of soda full of sugar, and then you have something else sugar. Is it kind of a cumulative effect where the body's going like, wow, another one. Now I got to deal with another one. The ice cream, kind of a one-off, but once you keep, it's like the hits keep coming, like a prize fighter. Yep,
absolutely.
One. Yeah.
Have you ever had a week where, okay, how do you feel at the end of vacation? Like, most people go on vacation, right? They're relaxed, they sleep better, they whatever, but sometimes they don't eat as well.
Yep.
They eat the food. It's like you reward yourself because you're on vacation. Like, calories don't count. All of that stuff doesn't count. Where I will never tell somebody to count calories, by the way. That, to me, no.
Yeah.
That's detrimental. It doesn't help you. But anybody who's been on some kind of a diet, usually you're trying to diet and exercise more leading up to vacation so you can go away and you can eat whatever you want. You can party, you can drink more, you can do everything in excess. But usually at the end of that, you come home and you feel more sluggish.
Mm-hmm.
You feel bloated. Your body just doesn't function properly. You're not sleeping right. That is because of the excess sugar, the excess alcohol, the excess calories, whatever you're putting into your body that you're not used to. There will always be some kind of a ramification that comes from that.
Wow. And here's the scary part. Those of us that eat that stuff on a regular basis, no judgment. I'm just
of course.
kind of a fact, based on what I felt. If you do it on a regular basis, it becomes a way of life. Getting out of bed, your joints hurt, you just feel like kind of beat up, like it's just, here we go again. I'm just getting older. No,
exactly.
It's probably what you're eating.
It is. And your body will give you signals. Like, look, it's that getting up in the morning and being uncomfortable, or it's the feeling sluggish. It's the being overtired, the not sleeping. If you have too much sugar, your face is going to break out sometimes. Like, your skin won't look as good. A lot of the times, if you're consuming those sugary drinks, you're not getting the hydration that you need. You think you're drinking a lot, but you're really not. Because if you look at soda, you're consuming more sugar than you are getting water and fluid intake for that day. So it doesn't necessarily count.
So let's look at the substitute for sugar. Now, we already identified, marketing ploy, pure cane sugar or just regular sugar. Then we got the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
What about, and we've heard the artificial sweeteners,
Yeah.
not good for you. So
No.
we know that we're going to put that over to the side.
Yeah.
What about things like stevia?
Look, stevia is natural. Stevia is I've grown stevia in my garden
Oh,
and
wow.
dehydrated it and ground it down and used it. And it does have a sweetening effect on its own. You kind of have to watch where you get, like if you go and you buy stevia, you just have to look at the ingredients and because they do add chemicals to it.
Yep.
So unfortunately, when it comes to artificial sweeteners, some of them are better than others. There's agave. Agave comes directly from the cactus. It's actually from the same plant that they make tequila from.
Hmm.
Agave is a sweetener. It's a natural sweetener. It doesn't spike your blood sugar the same as sugar. Honey acts in your body as sugar does, but it is all natural. There is nothing processed about it. Sugarcane is processed. Honey, especially if you get local honey, you're getting that straight from the bees. There is nothing more natural than that. So if you're going to use a sweetener, that is a really good one. I like monk fruit. Monk fruit sweetener, you can get it powder and granules like sugar, and that doesn't cause a spike in blood sugar. And it's a natural sweetener. It's from a plant, again, just like a stevia. A lot of the times it's a little bit less processed. Notice the word that I'm saying a lot in conjunction with all of this is processed. Anything that's processed, anything that goes through a factory to be able to get to you is not as healthy as if it comes from nature.
Like a jar of honey.
Yeah.
Mm.
A jar. I mean, and then there's certain jars of honey that are better than others. Like it depends. You want to try to eat it as natural as possible. It's not always possible. You might not have somebody around you who makes local honey. You might not have a farmer's market where you can get it. So any honey is going to be better than getting like Equal or Sweet and Low and all that. Like, come on, those chemicals, that's worse for you than eating regular sugar.
Give me my high fructose corn syrup. It's like horrible.
It's mind-boggling and it's scary that, we go through periods of time where everything seems to be healthy and we're told it's all healthy. And then it all ends up coming back to eat how Mother Nature intended. That is the biggest thing, but it's not the easiest thing to do. And everybody knows it.
I love the fact that you've grown your own stevia. And yes, to your point, friend opened my eyes to it, that you need to look at the ingredients. Because if you go to the convenience store, get a cup of coffee, sometimes I want to put stevia in there just for a little, hit of a little sweetness. If you actually look at the packet, it's not just stevia. They put sugar components in there.
Exactly.
Like
they put sugar components in there. There's components in there as preservatives.
Yeah.
Nothing can sit on a shelf forever if it's natural.
Yeah.
That's just everything will break down in nature.
Except honey.
Yeah.
I believe it's the only food that doesn't spoil.
It's very true. That is very true. Honey is actually used as a preservative, or used to be used as a preservative. Another one is maple syrup. Maple syrup is, come on, that's it. If you get pure maple syrup, that comes directly from the trees.
But guess what? You're paying a lot more for that.
Of course you are.
A restaurant on Father's Day, and I'm going to get breakfast. So I grabbed I'm going to get the pure maple syrup. I look on the menu, and it just for a little bit of maple, it was added like $6 just for that.
It does.
And even the server said, I don't really recommend it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
But it really does. And you have to watch where you're going, because sometimes, again, they say pure maple syrup, but they add other things to it. It's all marketing. It's all to, everyone will tout healthy, organic, whatever. And you just have to watch, and you have to educate yourself, and you have to look at what you're eating. And it takes effort. It takes a little bit more money. It takes effort. And I know not everyone can do that. And it's harder. It's just a matter of trying to make slightly better choices with all of that. And the more you educate yourself on it and you're aware of it, there might be a little light bulb that goes off in your head that says, wait a second, maybe I could choose something else.
Maybe I should call Katie.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good.
And, I find myself when it comes to the sweet stuff, ice cream, occasionally, whatever, I get it. And I'm like, this is going to be great. And halfway through, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a massive sweet tooth. It isn't even for me about the sweet. It's more about you deserve this today.
Yeah. I get it.
And
Yeah.
it's a comfort thing because in my childhood, chocolate shakes were a thing. Not even worth getting into it, but
With
there's a
French fries. Did you?
all right, we opened up new territory here, and you're right. I think on some of my social profiles, I actually write that is a magic, the sugar and the salt combination.
Yes.
All right, if you're gonna do it, if you,
Sorry.
it's gonna be the Frosty at Wendy's with the fries. Just ketchup. Who needs ketchup when you have
No.
a chocolate shake? How do we
Yeah.
connect with you, Katie? You're very honest about everything. Again, you're a pastry chef, so sugar it has to
Yeah.
be your friend in
Yeah.
some regards. But also you coach people and open their eyes to a lot of this. How do we find you?
I have a website. It is mykindofhealthy.com, and that is the name of my business because I do think that, my kind of healthy is not your kind of healthy, is not the next person. So what I try to do is help everyone find their kind of healthy and what works for them. So it's mykindofhealthy.com. On Instagram, I am the pastry chef health coach, which is very self-explanatory. And Facebook, I am either Katie Patterson or my kind of healthy slash Katie Cakes, which is my other business because I do have a custom cake business.
Which is amazing. On a side note here, if we're going to talk about sugar, can't ignore. I've looked at your socials and some of the creations that you have, just amazing.
Thank
It was
you.
a Ferrari cake you did.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that's good.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Thank you so much for today and kind of breaking this whole sugar thing down. I was wondering, can we talk about sugar and sweets for an entire podcast? We could keep going. We
Yeah,
could keep going. There's more out there.
definitely.
All right. Appreciate it. Looking forward next time we get together.
Thanks, Steve. Take care.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.